down, I believe. No, so you're going to block your face.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Your mic's not right.
No, not too
You
much.
guys are a little tall. You're a little taller than I am, so.
Okay. Why don't we just do that to all of them? Yeah. Here, you want to grab them? Well, we might.
Yeah, you might have to move.
I was going to say we need a little stool. Is what we need.
Pick you up. I'm gonna have to pick
No,
you up.
you've got a big presence. You don't worry about it. They'll talk to you.
All right, everyone, so we're going to do Spanish speaking
You got it, you're a pro.
after all the speakers, and then we'll do Q&A.
Take that one out. too.
That one's okay.
No. Take it out. Pop it. Pop it. This is- Mom's not that tall. Everybody good on the sound? Everybody good on the sound? Okay.
Good morning. I'm Kim Ogg, Harris County District Attorney. I am joined today by, of course, Mayor Sylvester Turner, by Chief Art Acevedo, and by the mothers of 2 young men killed in what has been an ongoing gang war between 2 groups known as the YSB Young Scott Block and 103 100% 3rd Ward. There was a time in the city when I was a line prosecutor back in 1992 when Houston leaders did not acknowledge the gang problem or the inherent violence that surrounds it and the ultimate tragedy that engulfs families of young people. When I became the anti-gang task force director, we tried to change that. And I'm proud to say that the leadership in Houston today not only recognizes the threat to public safety and to neighborhoods and ordinary people that the gang culture brings, but we work together to do something about it. That's the families of the victims, that's the witnesses, that's the police, that is the highest governing body in the city, and that's the mayor and city council. They've dedicated resources to it, and when you fund things, that indicates a priority to you. So I want to thank the police department today because we're here to announce the filing of charges against a person named Kendrick Johnson, a 103 gang member responsible for at least 2 murders, 2 families that will never be the same. I'm joined here today. On my right is Kenneth Robertson's mother. Her name is Yvonne Ferguson. Her son was murdered September 26, 2018 by Kenneth Johnson. She corrected me, I'm sorry. September 23rd. I'm also joined today on my left by Dahlia Mack. She is DeLindsay Mack's mother. As you'll recall, DeLindsay was a victim in a November 13, 2018 murder near Lamar High School. Both murders were committed as part of an ongoing assault by the 103 group against YSB in retaliation for other crimes. We're here to urge the killing to stop, to talk to the individuals, the young people making choices about giving their loyalty to groups that murder one another. We're here to say it's time for young men to stop dying on our streets. And to do that, it requires the cooperation of the community. It requires the witnesses to tell the truth. It requires the families to participate and not escalate the violence by asking for street justice, but instead work through the justice system for peace and justice, because we will bring Kenneth Johnson to justice. I want to thank the members of the Houston Homicide Division for excellent work. It's good, old-fashioned, hard work that brought Kenneth Johnson to this point to be charged in these murders. I want to thank the prosecutors who work diligently every day to try and protect people in communities, regular people, from murderers like Kenneth Johnson. Together, we are holding the line on gang violence. This is part of an ongoing criminal investigation that I assure you, you will hear more about. But today, I just want to invite up our police chief, Art Acevedo, to give you some of the facts of the case, and then we'll hear from Mayor Turner and the victims' moms. Chief?
Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you, DA Ogg, for your partnership and your leadership. And Mayor, obviously thank you for allowing us the privilege of serving this city and of really doing everything we can to save lives. And I want to really today commend these families that have cooperated with the police department. They've had the courage to stand up for the loss of their loved ones. You know, this young man might be a statistic to some, but to this woman, it's her son, her teenage son, who she called Papi. And, you know, to see that smile today, it gives me great faith and great hope that God can restore the lives of these families. But part of that restoration is bringing justice. And today, I want to tell both families that we stand with you. The criminal justice system stands with you. I know the DA and the mayor stands with you, but most importantly, our homicide division stands with you, because we don't care if a suspect shoots a gang member, a non-gang member, we don't care who it is. Every life in this city is precious to this police department. Every life in this city is precious to the DA, and every life in this city is precious to our own native-born Mayor Sylvester Turner. And so today, I want to tell our homicide division, thank you for your continued excellence. No, Sir Romeo, that's another case where we have filed charges on. That little boy that was shot in the upstairs of his apartment, in his grandma's apartment. We are going to continue to work tirelessly, and later on, either late this month or early next month, we will be joined by the ATF director to talk about additional strategies and resources will be brought to bear here in the Houston AOR to combat violence. And so I'm not going to get into the specifics of this case, but these cases are tragedies that can be avoided by people that know that there's an ongoing cross-generational gang war going on, especially between the two gangs involved in these cases, the YSB and the 103s. And the sooner that we can solve every one of the cases that are out there outstanding, the sooner that we can bring these suspects to custody, the sooner that people cooperate and help us bring justice to the victims, the sooner we'll bring peace to our neighborhoods. And every neighborhood in this city deserves peace. So again, please come forward, because we don't, today it's these moms, but tomorrow it could be someone listening, watching today, and we don't want these moms to have to go through this. So again, thank you all. Oh, I'm getting hugs. Mayor, come on here and get a group hug real quick. But we're on it together. But this is what we come to work for. This is what these men come to work for, because no mom should bury a child, and we just urge people, come forward before you have to bury your child. Again, thank you to the families for your support, for being here. And Mayor, thank you for your leadership, and Kim, thanks for the partnership. And I'll get out of the way. If anybody wants specifics, the detectives are here to talk about it later. But the investigation is ongoing, so we're not going to get too far in the weeds.
Come on in, Mayor.
Let me just say that we've repeatedly said that we will leave no stone left unturned in trying to solve many of these murders that take place in our city. And I too want to congratulate and thank HPD, the Houston Police Department, the detectives. I want to thank Kim Ogg and her office, the prosecutors, for working day and night to solve crimes within our city. But today we're standing together. Dahlia, we're standing together. And Yvonne, we're standing together. Look, I know it's hard, and we're not going to pretend that it's not. And I've had an opportunity to go out in these communities and go to Lamar High School, go over to Yates, talk to the kids. And what we've said repeatedly is that we would do everything possible to make our community safe, our schools safe, the neighborhood safe, and we're going to continue to do that. One way of doing that is to remove off the streets those individuals that do not value human life and don't respect the lives of others. And unfortunately, we do have too many gang members. And now our task is to reduce that number one by one in order to make it safe for everyone else. So let me just say to these incredible moms, and we've had a chance to talk, where a bullet may have taken their son, but we don't want that bullet to take the families, okay? We don't want to give the enemy, those who disrespect life, the power to take more than what they have already taken. So we continue to stand. We continue to be here for other children, for sons, and daughters, and others. We continue to stand and to say that we're going to work together to make our community a safer place. So we're standing with all of you all. Love the smile, love the spirit, because in our city, a bullet may kill one, but it does not kill this community as a whole, okay? The enemy does not win.
And it doesn't stop the love for our children.
And that is correct.
It doesn't stop the love.
Okay, so let me step out and let me let you hear from these moms. Dahlia?
First, I'd like to give honor to God.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Because without God, none of this would be possible. I'd like to thank the wonderful HPD staff. You all did a phenomenal job. Thank you. This is what you call teamwork. Teamwork. My team promised me that they had my back, and they showed up and they showed out. I tip my hat to HPD.
Thank you. Yvonne?
You kept your promise. You kept your promise on your pension. You kept your promise. You say you took my son to bed with you. You prayed. You say I can call you anytime and yell at you. You're here to listen. You kept your promise. My baby's is in a better place. He's in a better place. I thank God. God is good. God is real. The frustration I go through, the anger, the pain, and I forgive this person because he also has a mother and she's in pain. The younger generation, I grew up in the 80s and it was like I was so happy. And I'm still happy because it was an honor, not a past tense to have had Ken, Kenneth Dwayne Robinson as my son. It's an honor to have Ken as my son. It's an honor to have known Poppy as his friend, as his brother, like he's saying, his other friends who stick by him. I get a chance to watch Ken videos. I get a chance to watch Ken, listen to Ken music. I get a chance to do everything because he's not here in body form. He's here in spirit, and I still get a chance to dream about him. My love is for Ken is not going nowhere, and I thank y'all. I thank y'all. Y'all, it's not like, it's like y'all became family. Y'all family for Houston. I didn't know y'all personally, but y'all made it y'all business to bring my son and Poppy to justice, kill him to justice. And I thank y'all. God is so good. God is good. Satan is busy. Everything come fast when it's come to Satan. It's Satan. But God, it may take years and years, but when God answer prayers, he answer prayers. When you think God is not done, he's not done. Because Satan's going to come and try to steal your joy because he tried to make me angry, but I'm still happy. I don't know what it feels like to live in an anger home, to be mad and everything. I'm happy. My son is gone. It's in a better place, but I'm still happy. God is good, and I thank y'all. Have a blessed one.
Oh, you're incredible.
Before I turn it over to Ruben Perez, who will address Spanish-speaking media, I want to give you just a little bit of history on Kendrick Johnson. He has had a violent history. He has been to youth prison. He has been charged in multiple aggravated robberies. He's in jail for those aggravated robberies today. He has a court setting next week early, and now he will face 3 additional charges, which were filed this morning. As we discussed, the first is murder 1, September 23rd. The second is murder 2, November 13, and there is a third aggravated assault and victim that I wanted to mention. The victim's name is Meconico. He was shot in the neck in a different drive-by shooting, vehicle on vehicle, back on January the 8th of this year. So there has been nothing but the evidence shows a history of violence in this young man's recent past. He is the poster child for presenting a threat to the community, and I just want to thank the young people here that came on behalf of their friends, because you're the generation we're talking to. You're the ones who have to go out on the street as ambassadors of justice and say, de-escalate on the street. Let's take care of things in the courts. That's where somebody can really get justice, and we can do it in a peaceful setting. So I want to thank them for coming. Now I want to invite up Ruben.
I want to mention one last thing.
Yes, sir.
You know, the last thing we really need to mention is the problem of violent offenders being given PR bonds in this county and in the state. Violent offenders that are getting low bonds that are absolutely present a clear and present danger to the community in this county and the state. And I'm proud to say that Senator Whitmire is working hopefully with the governor's office to actually have bail bond reform that makes decisions based on the risk assessment. People that we've arrested for aggravated robbery, aggravated assault, for murders have been out to commit on low bonds or no bonds, other murders, other robberies. And so we're hopeful as a law enforcement community that we will have bail reform at the state level where suspects like the one that murdered Trooper Allen, on Thanksgiving 2 years ago, that was out on a very low bond after he almost beat to a pulp, or actually beat to a pulp, a deputy. We've got to keep violent offenders behind bars and not running around wreaking havoc. And then on top of that, it's because of the staffing levels here at the Harris County District Attorney's Office, it's taken 2-3 years to get people the trial. Next thing you know, they're just going around reoffending, hurting other families, tearing other families' hearts. And so I just bring that up because I know that Senator Whitmire, the Dean of the Senate, is working with the governor's office and Lieutenant Governor. Hopefully we'll see something this session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Buenos días. Me llamo Rubén Pérez, soy fiscal del Special Crimes Bureau de la Fiscalía del Condado de Harris. Trabajo por la Fiscalería de Houston, KEMAG. Quiero darle las gracias al Departamento de Houston, del Departamento de Houston de los Policías, al señor Acevedo, a sus detectivas. Quiero dar gracias al Sylvester Turner, el mayor. Y también quiero dar gracias a mi jefa, KEMAG, que nos ha dado el dirección y nos ha dado el esfuerzo de estar peleando en contra de estas bandillas. Son 2 cargos que tiene este hombre, Kendrick Johnson, 2 homicidios en 2 casos y otro que lastimó a otra persona con una arma. No quiero dar muchos detalles de estos casos porque todavía están en investigación, pero también le quiero dar gracias a nuestras madres que están aquí, nuestras madres, y les damos todo el pésamo a ellas y sus familias y todas las familias que han estado afectadas por estos daños, estos delitos que hicieron este hombre. Le quiero dar gracias a toda la comunidad por todo el apoyo que nos han dado aquí. KEMAG, como dice, estamos aquí para ayudarle a toda la comunidad a pelear en contra de las bandillas. Tenemos que tener paz en nuestros barrios, en estas comunidades. No podemos siguiendo matando unos a los otros. La gente joven tiene que agarrar el mensaje que ya no se maten, ya no se pelean. Estamos aquí para servirles. Le quiero dar gracias a las familias los amigos de los víctimas de este caso. I want to thank you on behalf of KEMAG for all your presence, for your support, for your compassion, your passion in this particular case. Y con eso otra vez les quiero dar gracias a toda la comunidad, a ustedes, y ustedes también por salir el mensaje que tenemos que parar estas bandidas de que se están peleando en nuestras calles.
Esta pregunta va para el jefe de la policía, Arturo Acevedo. Hablamos del problema de las pandillas en las escuelas, sobre todo.
Sí.
Ayer tuvimos un caso de un muchachito que está debatiéndose entre la vida y la muerte en Jane Knoll Academy, al suroeste de Houston. Cuando nosotros vamos a las comunidades, los medios de comunicación inmediatamente nos dicen que hay demasiadas pandillas, que estos muchachitos salen de las escuelas. ¿Cuál es el mensaje a la comunidad? Porque ellos los están viendo cometiendo crímenes.
Bueno, para empezar es importante que, como mi mamá me decía a mí siempre, dime con quién andas, te diré quién eres. Tenemos que saber quién son los amigos de nuestros hijos y nuestras hijas, con quién andan, qué están haciendo, después de la escuela, antes de la escuela, en los fines de semana, de la noche. Porque el problema es que si tú además que eres amigo con un pandillero, no tienes que ser pandillero, si eres amigo con un pandillero y otra pandilla te ve con ellos y quiere matar a alguien, ¿sabe quién van a balacear? A tu hijo y a tu hija. Así que les suplicamos a los papás y a las mamás que sepan qué están haciendo sus hijos y sus hijas, con quién andan, a dónde andan, y más importante, si eres testigo de un crimen, especialmente un crimen violento, por favor, sea testigo, coopere con la policía, porque no queremos que otras mamás sufran como estas madres, que su niño que llamaba papi, de 16 años, fue matado a balazos al lado del Lamar High School. Se recuerda que el alcalde fue ahí, yo fui con él, con el alcalde a estar con sus estudiantes, porque tenía amigos que eran pandilleros, por más nada. Así que es importante que los papás aprendan de esto, las madres aprendan de esto, y que estén al tanto con quién andan sus hijos. Okay, anything else in Spanish? Okay, thank you.
Mayor, can we ask you a question related to this?
Well, let's keep, you can talk to me aside, but let's keep the focus on this one right now, okay?
Question for the detectives, can you give us any kind of insight on how we were able to make this arrest?
You know what, I'm going to address that. Everybody else wants to know the how, but guess what? Every crook wants to know how they got caught. So if you find out on your own, great for you. But here's the deal. We need to understand what business we're in. We should tell the stories of the victims and maybe not the methodology of how we came to this point, because there's a lot of victims out there and families out there who have not received justice yet. And so we're really concerned when we start talking about, and I know you all want to dig into it, but the only value you bring, okay, is to the crooks, to the shooters, to the shot callers when we talk about how we found things. So I would urge you, because there's a lot of moving parts on these investigations, I would urge the media, who most of you live, you all work, most of you live, visit in this city, in this region, please, let's focus on the victims. Let's focus on the importance of the community coming together, but let's not focus on methodology, because I promise you that these bad actors watch as well. So we talked about it yesterday. We've got a lot of cases that go out there. They're still ongoing, so we're not going to talk about methodology. I mean, you can always go to the courtroom and get that. You already know that, but I'm urging you to avoid that, because it really, we don't want the CSI effect that we already have in homicide cases, thanks to CSI Miami, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, New York, that shows people, excuse me, so we're not going to talk about how we got to this point, other than we're grateful we have a great families that were with us, and we're hopeful to get more. And I'm not trying to attack you, we're not going to talk about how we got there.
A question for the mothers. Do you have a message to other parents out there, what they would say to their children? Obviously, I believe you've been proactive in talking to kids about this. What would you say to parents out there who might be watching it?
Never say what your child wouldn't do or what your children wouldn't do, because we don't know. Every single day before I leave the house, every day, if I don't see Ken, my oldest son, or Kendra, my second to the oldest, I always send them a text, Mama love you, stay out of harm's way. I always tell them that. And they tell me, vice versa, Mama, I love you, Mother, I love you. What scared me a couple of weeks ago, my baby son, my 15-year-old Travis Smith, he's really struggling, having a hard time. My baby son Travis never text me or say mother to me. Ken, my oldest son, the deceased, always say, hello, mother, I love you, mother. But when I have gotten that text, hello, mother, I love you, it's like everything just came out of me, and it's like, wow. And I want to ask Travis not to call me mother. It's only Ken. But then again, it's Yvonne, that's selfish of you, because who to say it wasn't Ken send that message, you know, through Travis to tell me. But to answer your question, value your children should value you. In the younger generation, if you love your mother and don't want your mother, your father, your family to go through this, please put the guns down. You know, when I was growing up in the 80s, we had beef with one another. We danced. That's how we did. But taking another person's life, it's two lives to take it. Death to life and being locked up. No, both families hurting. I'm hurting, and this mother's child, you know, also is hurting. So please, I'm begging y'all, please, 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 let it be. You know, live one day at a time. One day at a time. And mothers, I didn't understand. I only could say that I can only imagine, because it didn't happen to me until it happened to me. That phone call, I will never forget that phone call. So the mother who have lost their child, their children, I was only able to imagine until I'm walking in their shoes. And that's a pain will never, ever, ever, ever be taken away. But I forgive this person. I forgive this person. I forgive this person. God is good. God is good. So I don't know what to ask the mother. Only the mothers who lost children, I can only say, now I understand your pain, I'm walking in your shoes. And the mothers who still have their kids, never say that it won't ever happen to you or it's not your children, because you don't know. And there's not you can't say, well, what's the perfect time? There's a wrong place at the wrong time, because you never know. You can be at the gas station, you can be in the store, the mall, you know, the movie theater. We don't know. Because Satan is busy, Satan is everywhere. And Satan could be smiling right there in your face, you don't even know. God bless.
Bye. I got you.
Oh, how I love the name Jesus.
All right now.
It is the sweetest name.
I know.
I know.
All right.
Pray with your kids. Take them to church. Trust. Teach your kids. Get to know their friends. Get to know what they're doing on social media. Work with your team. This is my team. He sits high and he looks low.
Absolutely.
He ordered my steps. I don't want to do this today.
Oh, but you're about to do it. You're about to do it. You've already done it.
You can't tell me what my God won't do. Look at my family. Great team. Work with them. Trust them. Believe what they tell you. They haven't lied to me. They haven't fibbed to me yet.
Anything else?
I think we all want to talk to you about some other stuff, Mayor.
Okay, why don't y'all talk to people individually?
All right, thank y'all so very much. Mayor, thank you. We should all have this faith that's strong. The ladies are inspired.